Hello everyone, I am Claire from Lion Learners East Anglia, and today's session is on tarantula. And yes, I know, a bit of a Marmite animal. People either love them or hate them. In fact, it's probably one of the first things I'm asked when I go to a new school or even to a care home, to a party, is do you have a tarantula on you? And people either want to ask because they really, really want to see one, or they really, really do not want to see one. And it's probably about a 50 of 50 split. Now, tarantulas, down here, you will see we have the lovely Twiglet. And Twiglet is a Honduran Curly Haired Tarantula. And she's still a juvenile. She's going to get a bit bigger. Let's talk about tarantulas in general, because they do have a bad reputation, and it's not really that fair because no tarantula has ever killed anyone ever, but we've all got it in our head that tarantulas are really, really scary. And I think it's because spiders in general are quite scuttly, but as Twiglet is showing you right here now, she's doing a great impression of being a statue. She's not really a scuttly tarantula. She is very, very chilled out. There are about 850 species of tarantula in the world, and you can get them on all the continents except for the Arctic and Antarctica. Now, Twiglet here is from Central America, from places like Honduras or Costa Rica or Nicaragua. And let's pick her up and you can get a better look. Here she comes. You will see she's a beautiful girl. You will see she's got these 4 lovely legs on one side, 4 lovely legs on another, and as we know, 4 plus 4 equals 8. And she's a spider, she has 8 legs. She's got 2 what look like shorter legs at the front. They're not legs, they're called pedipalps. They're a bit like feelers. She uses them to feel her way around. You will see at the moment she has got an amazingly beautifully big abdomen. Can you see here at the back? It's huge, and that's because she is coming up to molt. As she gets nearer and nearer molt, her abdomen will get bigger and bigger. And then one day I'll come downstairs and she'll be on her back and she'll be slowly pushing herself out of her old skin to make way for her new skin, and that helps her get bigger. You will see as a Honduran curly haired, she is covered in hairs. All tarantulas have hairs. She's got more than most, and it's there for protection. Oh, I'm going to put her back down so I can talk to you a bit better. There we go, sweetheart. Here she goes. It's for protection. And she uses those hairs. It's because she's from the Americas. She has a very clever trick. What she can do, if something was chasing her or she was annoyed, she would use her back leg here and rub it against her abdomen. And that would kick hairs backwards into the face of whatever was chasing her. And her hair's got little barbs on the end, and they get into the eyes of the animal chasing her and irritate their eyes to stop them following her. So it's a really big defense mechanism, and it's only the tarantulas in the Americas that do that. The tarantulas from Africa are much more likely to get defensive and try and bite than the ones from the Americas that are a bit more chilled out. Nice closer look at her here. She's very, very beautiful. Now, tarantulas are nocturnal. She comes out to hunt at night, and she likes to eat different types of insect. We feed her crickets and locusts. What she would do, she doesn't live in a web. Tarantulas are too heavy to live in webs. So what she do, she would live in a burrow on the ground, but she can spin thread. She's not showing you, but at the back here, she's got 2 spinnerets, and she can spin silk from there. And she would use the silk for a few things. She would use it to line her burrow to keep out mud and dirt. She would also use it, they sometimes use it as a tripwire. So what they do is they leave a thin bit of thread outside their burrow, and if an animal went past and knocked into it, the spider would detect that and realise there's someone near a burrow and they need to watch it out. Another reason she would use her thread is to leave a nice sticky trail of thread on the ground. And then an insect would walk along, get stuck in it, and she would go back and eat the insect. And the way she eats them, she injects them with a poison, and that kind of liquefies them. She kills them with her jaws and then sucks out their insides. So yeah, it's kind of gruesome. But that is just the way she eats. So as a tarantula, she's a type of spider, which is a type of arachnid. And arachnids include other groups as well. You get scorpions, you get mites, ticks, daddy long legs. They're also types of arachnid. Right, so when Twiglet here was born, she came from an egg sac. And a tarantula's egg sac can hold 500 eggs, which is a lot. And after about 6 weeks of the egg sac being laid, the slings would break through. And slings are the name that we call baby tarantulas. They're called slings. So she would have started off as a sling and she would have molted to get bigger and bigger. And over here, I want to show you her last molt. Here we go. So this here is Twiglet's last molt. She did this, how long ago now? About 5 months ago she molted here. And you will see it looks like another twigling. It looks almost identical to her. The only thing that looks different is her abdomen. You can see it's all shrunken here. And the reason I've put it on the plate, if we can pan back a little bit, is this is about how big she is going to grow. So she's still got a little bit of growth to do. Whereas the largest tarantula in the world, which is the Goliath bird-eating tarantula, will grow to about this size, which is a lot bigger. If we put Twiglet's one on top, you can see the difference between Twiglet's size and the Goliath bird-eater. Now, the Goliath bird-eater is also another one from South America. And it's called a bird eater because in the 18th century there was an engraving of one of these spiders, these massive spiders eating a hummingbird. But actually, in reality, they don't actually really eat birds. It's very, very rare that they eat a bird. They're more likely to eat amphibians like frogs or big millipedes and things like that. Right, let's have a look at another tarantula. Over here, let's put Twiglet's, she likes to be under here, then she feels nice and safe. Right, let's look at another one. We have also got with us today, I've got a Chilean Rose Tarantula. The tarantula now is called Dorothy, and Dorothy is quite different in temperament to Twiglet. Whereas Twiglet, as you saw, was a bit like a statue, she just sits there and chills out. Dorothy is slightly more skittish. She doesn't really like to be handled. She just likes to wander around. So here she is. Let's move her stuff out and get a better look at her. Here she comes. Hello, Dorothy, darling. You'll see she's lighter in colour. She's actually older than Twiglet, but she's slightly smaller, though she still has a bit more growth to do. Both my tarantulas are female, which is actually really good because the females live a lot longer than the males. Dorothy here will live up to about 20 years. If she was a boy, she'd only live for about 4 or 5 years. They don't live anywhere near as long. The boys, once they reach maturity, will go into one round of reproduction, and after that they die quite soon afterwards, whereas the females live a lot longer. Hello there, Dorothy. Hello. You're going to come and say hello to everyone? We'll see if she wants to come up. Oh, there we go. See, she's not as friendly. Dorothy doesn't often come out with me much anymore because she prefers just to chill out, which is fair enough. We're all different, and it goes to show that even tarantulas have different personalities. Right, that is the end of today's tarantula session. Join us tomorrow. I'm not sure what animal we have tomorrow, but join us tomorrow for another animal. See you later.